Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to getting informed, breaking down big ideas, sometimes with surprising facts, and hopefully just enough humor.
Hopefully.
Today, we're jumping right into something absolutely key to success everywhere. But, pinning it down can be tricky. We're talking about quality.
It sounds simple, but it's really not.
Exactly. And to kick things off, let's rewind a bit. Think back to 1980. There was this big U.S. television documentary. It made huge waves. It was called If Japan Can, Why Can't We?
Oh, I remember the buzz around that.
Yeah. It basically dropped this bombshell, revealing what called the secret behind Japan's, sudden dominance in global markets.
Right. Cars, electronics, they were everywhere.
And the secret, their incredibly well-engineered, superior quality system. They weren't just competing. They were setting totally new standards for reliability, for craftsmanship.
Yeah, and the U.S. especially was scrambling to figure out how.
Which leads to the really interesting part you mentioned before we started.
Yeah, the big twist, almost ironic, that the documentary uncovered was that Japan hadn't just, invented these systems overnight. No, they'd actually learned the core principles, the techniques from American experts. People like W. Edwards Deming and Joseph Juran.
The quality gurus.
The absolute gurus. They'd gone to Japan after the war, helped them rebuild, taught concepts like statistical process control, continuous improvement.
And the Japanese really ran with it.
They embraced it completely. So the documentary wasn't just saying, look how good Japan is. It was really a wake-up call. It was arguing that U.S. businesses basically needed to relearn the quality techniques they'd sort of exported decades earlier.
Wow. That's quite the boomerang effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
The teachers needing to relearn from the students.
Precisely.
And that really sets up our mission for this deep dive. What is quality, really? Is it just, not messing up? Or something deeper? How do we actually get our heads around it and apply it consistently? Whether you're talking about a noisy factory making car parts or, say, the customer service desk at a bank.
Very different worlds, but the core idea connects them.
So today we'll unpack those core elements, see how it works in practice, and figure out why pushing that quality bar higher and higher is, more critical than ever. Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Okay, so defining quality. Everyone throws the word around, but getting specific can be tough. Our sources suggest there is a kind of widely accepted framework, though, right? A common ground.
Absolutely. It's not just random. Think of it like a three-legged stool. All legs need to be strong.
Okay, a three-legged stool, what's the first leg?
The first is fitness of the design. Basically, does the product or the service actually do what it's intended to do? Was the core idea, the blueprint, sound in the first place?
So is it designed correctly for its purpose?
Exactly. Is it fit for purpose? That's leg one.
Got it. Leg two.
Leg two is conformity to specification, or just conforming to specs. This is about execution. Meaning, does the thing you actually make or the service you deliver precisely match the detailed requirements set out in that design? Is it built exactly as planned? No deviations.
Right. So following the blueprint perfectly.
Down to the last detail. Precision, consistency. That's leg two.
And the third leg?
The third leg is satisfying customer needs. This is the external check. Does it ultimately give the customer what they want, what they expect? Does it solve their problem or meet their need?
Okay. That third one, satisfying customer needs, that feels like how we often judge quality right from the outside as a customer.
It definitely does.
If you're happy with your purchase, if the service worked for you, you tend to think, yeah, that was good quality. Seems intuitive.
It is intuitive, and customer satisfaction is obviously hugely important.
Yeah.
But there's a catch.
Oh.
Yeah. Our Financial Times source brings up a really critical warning here. A strategy that only aims to just meet current customer expectations, that's actually pretty dangerous.
Dangerous. Why? Because you meet the need, they're satisfied.
Well, think about it. If you're only hitting today's expected standard, you're basically standing still. You're not innovating, you're not looking ahead.
Okay, I see where you go.
It leaves the door wide open for your competitors to come along with something better, something that anticipates the next need, or just does the current job more effectively or elegantly.
Right, so you're constantly playing catch-up.
Exactly. You're forced to just continually raise the bar to keep pace instead of setting the pace yourself. It's reactive, not proactive.
So true quality isn't just hitting the baseline, it's about aiming higher, staying ahead of the curve.
That seems to be the key takeaway for long-term success. Being good enough today might mean you're falling behind tomorrow. It's not just about fixing flaws, it's about foresight.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's make this more concrete. Let's shift from the definition to the factory floor, manufacturing.
Good idea.
Our sources mention Gordon Greer. He's head of quality at a company making car components, a world where precision is everything.
Right. And Greer's perspective really highlights that second leg we talked about, conformity to specification. For him, it's all about translating the designer's exact intent into a physical part. Perfectly. Every time.
No room for error.
Zero. He talks about the elimination of variation. That's the mantra. Every single part needs to be ideally an identical clone of the blueprint.
Why is that so critical in, say, car parts?
Well, think about the consequences. Even a tiny variation, something minuscule, could cause a failure down the line. In a braking system or an engine component, the stakes are incredibly high.
Life and death, potentially.
Absolutely. So the precision they require is, well, it's extreme. Greer mentions working to very strict tolerances.
How strict are we talking?
Measurements that have to be within a fraction of a millimeter, like thinner than a human hair, of the specified limits.
Wow. How do they even achieve that consistently?
Through incredibly rigorous systems. Things like statistical process control, SPC, constantly monitoring data to catch deviations before they become defects. And concepts like poka-yoke, which is basically designing processes so it's physically impossible to make a mistake.
Error-proofing the system itself.
Exactly. It's about building quality into the process, not just inspecting it at the end.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah.
The parts in your car, or even like the tiny bits inside your phone right now.
Mm-hmm.
That level of extreme precision, that relentless focus on eliminating variation, it's what makes them reliable. It's what makes them safe. It builds this fundamental trust.
You rely on it without even thinking about it.
Totally. Okay, so that's manufacturing intense precision, eliminating variation. What about services, where the product is an experience, not an object?
Yeah, let's shift gears.
Let's look at it through the eyes of Serena Togliatti, a customer relations manager at a big bank. How do these quality ideas translate there?
Well, the situation is actually quite parallel, even though it feels different. For Serena, conformity to specification still applies.
How so?
It means the service the customer gets has to be exactly what the bank planned and intended, delivered consistently, accurately.
So the specs might be things like response times or following correct procedures.
Exactly. How quickly is your call answered? Are the steps for opening an account followed correctly every single time? Is the information you get clear and consistent?
Avoiding those annoying mistakes.
Precisely. Errors on your statement, wrong transaction details, getting different answers from different people, those are quality failures in the service context.
Like a poorly manufactured part.
In essence, yes. It's also about the consistency of the experience itself.
Yeah.
If every interaction feels different, if processes seem random, that erodes trust just as much as a single mistake.
So quality relies on solid processes, good training, applying standards consistently, even with, unpredictable people involved.
Right. Managing that human element is key.
Okay, so from my perspective, as the customer walking into the bank or calling them up, how do I experience that quality beyond just hoping they don't mess up my account?
Well, initially, quality from your viewpoint is often about customer approval. Did they do what you needed them to do?
Did they solve my problem?
Correctly. Efficiently. If yes, you probably feel they met your basic expectations. Your needs were satisfied, you approve.
But we already know just meeting expectations is dangerous territory.
Exactly. That's the baseline. The real differentiator where service truly shines goes beyond that. It moves into what Serena Togliatti calls customer delight.
Customer delight. Okay, what does that mean in practice?
It means the provider doesn't just meet your expectations, they actually exceed them in a way that feels positive and maybe even unexpected.
So it's more than just efficient service.
Oh yeah, it's not always some huge gesture either. It could be a small personal touch, like remembering something from a previous interaction.
Or maybe proactively offering a solution I hadn't thought of.
Perfect example. Or just making a complex process feel incredibly simple and effortless. It's about anticipating needs, adding unexpected value, delivering that pleasant surprise.
Like maybe the bank proactively calls to explain something complex in simple terms, or alerts you before an overdraft happens.
Exactly, those kinds of things. It's the warm, efficient resolution to a problem that felt stressful. That's delight.
Ah, customer delight. I like that term. That is the magic ingredient, isn't it?
It really can be.
It's that feeling that they actually value you, that little surprise when they go beyond just the transaction. You walk away feeling genuinely good about it.
Mm-hmm. It's memorable.
Yeah, it makes you loyal. It turns you from just a customer into maybe even an advocate. It's the difference between, yeah, they did their job and, wow, that was great.
And that's where businesses really build lasting relationships and define what excellent service looks like next.
So wrapping up this deep dive, then, it's really clear quality isn't just one simple thing.
Far from it.
It's this complex mix. It starts with smart design, being fit for purpose. Then there's the rigorous execution, conforming to specs, eliminating variation.
Whether it's a physical part or a service process.
Right. And finally, it all comes back to the customer meeting their needs, sure, but ideally achieving that customer delight.
A higher level.
And the big takeaway seems to be that leading the market isn't about just hitting today's targets. It's about constantly pushing, innovating, raising that bar yourself, not waiting for others to force your hand.
Definitely. Which leads us back to that Financial Times warning. If just satisfying current needs is dangerous because rivals can always do better, it makes you think, doesn't it? For you, listening right now, what does better actually mean in the products and services you use every day?
That's a great question.
What are those things, big or small, that make you feel an experience wasn't just adequate, but genuinely good or even delightful? How do you spot when a company hasn't just met your expectations, but actually exceeded them?
And maybe even, what innovation would it take for them to meet a need you don't even know you have yet?
Exactly. When you start looking for those answers, you start seeing the real game of quality being played out all around you.